You want to talk about a frog going into a bank to get a loan?
Since I guess we never talked about that, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. Frog goes into the bank to get a loan. His name's Kermit. He's been, customer there at that bank for quite a while, and knows he's going to have no problem getting a loan there. He walks in, but off to the little office there, he realizes that the name on the door is Patricia Wack, and Cheryl has always been the loan officer. So, it's going to be different. So he walks over to the receptionist and says, I'm here to get a loan, but where's Cheryl? Oh, no. Patricia is new here, but she's very good, and as soon as she finishes with this customer, she'll take you back and take just as good a care of you as Cheryl ever did. Okay. So, just have a seat as soon as she comes out. So he's waiting, the customer leaves, and here comes Patricia out. She introduces him, and he stands up to greet her. She's coming across and starts with, Missy. No, just call me Patty. Everybody calls me Patty. Okay. Well, I'm Kermit Jagger. And she just looks at him, and as he walks in, before he takes his seat, he says, yeah, before you even ask, Mick Jagger is my father. And in fact, he knows your manager here very well. He's basically from the same place over in England, came back over here years ago, but they know each other very well, and that's why I do business here, so this is where I'm coming to get my loan. She said, okay, well, have a seat, let's talk about it. How much you need? He says, I need $30,000. She said, okay, well, I know you're a good customer. You've been here. I'm looking at, and you know the manager. Your father knows the manager. Everybody knows everybody. But $30,000, we're going to have some collateral. So he reaches in his pocket. He pulls out this little bag, and he opens it up, and he pulls out a little pink porcelain elephant. He sets it up on her desk and said, there's my collateral. And she said, for a $30,000 loan. He said, yeah, that's my collateral right there. And she said, okay, I'm going to need to talk to the manager about it, so just sit here tight for a minute. She goes into the manager's office and says, I've got Kermit Jagger in my office there, and he wants a $30,000 loan. And the manager said, yeah. And she said, this is what he gave me for collateral. For crying out loud. She sets it on his desk and said, what is that? And he said, it's a knick-knack, paddywhack. Give the frog a loan. His old man is a rolling stone. Now, come on.
Okay.
You're processing it.
I'm going to call this a skeptical. This is going to be the category of skeptical high five.
You're still laughing.
Got any other stories?
No, but we can get serious for just 1 second.
Okay.
No, seriously. Hurricane season runs from the end of May through actually part of November. And you're not a real fan of hurricane season. In fact, it begins to wear on you.
Right.
Particularly when we get around September, because September is the busiest season, and you're just tired of it by that time, and they're getting bigger. Right now, Sam's out there, and Sam is, category 4. It's not heading to anything, but it just wears on you, and people notice that. But I was just reading this morning that they've actually gave a diagnosis for people that are concerned with this thing this time of year. Yeah, it's called tropical depression.
I love it. I love it. That was
all right. Then with that,
yeah,
shall we take on another
beautiful day?
another beautiful day.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
We are on our way to Chloe's school. She's in VPK, and they have invited the grandparents to have breakfast with them today. And
they're going to get to hear about the possum that come a-knocking.
Papa is going to read a book to Chloe's class, so we're excited about that. But that's going to be a fun day.
That's right, that's right. And we're getting there now.
We have some errands to run, some things to do in the rest of the day, but then we have a soccer game tonight, so we'll try to catch up with you there. Both Connor and Chloe play soccer.
That's right, so we'll see that later.
So we're almost at her school, so wish Papa luck.
Oh yeah. I don't want to mess up on that possum. See the possum outside knocking on the door. That's right. Granny was a-sitting and a-rocking and a-knitting when the possum come a-knocking at the door.
Chloe, you can move up a little bit if you need to.
Around.
Move up, friends, if you need to.
She said he'll read it to me at home.
Yeah. She's like, I got it.
The cat, she said, well, that cat can go. Then dog started sniffing and a pawing and a growling, while the cat started twitching its tail and a hissing and a howling, making Granny stop knitting, and Pappy stopped whittling, and Baby started a-fussing, and brother and sister started mussing, 'cause the old possum was still knocking at the door. Possum was aggravating, didn't he? What's that? Granny said. Don't know, Pappy said. What's that? Ma said. Don't know. Then I creepy crawled across the floor and looked under the door. Is it raining?
Yeah.
Are you having a good time?
Yeah. We're a little bit cold.
And
I mean, a little bit wet.
And they're out there right now.
There's Chloe Bell. She don't care it's raining.
Nobody's seen. Look at this.
No, the players don't care. The coaches don't care.
If you're gonna play soccer in Florida, it's gonna be in the rain.
Get it, Chloe! Come on, girl.
There it is.
Good job! Look at the little boy under the table. Yeah.
Put it in, Connor.
Get it.
Connor, this way.
There you go. That's good too. Yeah, good job, Carmen. Okay. I don't remember ever using this, but I guess it'll do. Yeah. If it starts raining, it's going to be raining. I know, but...
Is this the way to watch a game?
This is the way to watch a game.
There's my fishing buddy.
He's the one in the teal shirt.
Oh yeah. That's playing for the team in the blue.
Yeah.
What you got to say for yourself, Carly?
Go Blue Soldiers.
Go! Oh, there's the Blue Soldiers.
Actually, I'm not sure which one of the I think it's the teal. Get it, Connor!
They knocked the referee down with it.
Gotta do what's gotta do. The stakes are serious here.
You got separate
The
ones?
littles are playing one more time? Oh, you're doing so good.
How you doing, young man? Hey, you like playing in the rain?
Look who's here. Tommy. What's up, dude? Welcome to my craft room. So I'm getting ready to decorate this wine glass. It's going to be a combination of glass etching, glitter, and epoxy. So the first thing that I need to do is make a stencil for the glass etching, and I'm going to do that with vinyl. But I need to make the design and cut it out with the Cricut machine. And so I'm going to make the design in Design Space with Cricut. It's Cricut Design Space, so I'm going to do that and then cut it out with the Cricut machine. So once I make the design, I'll come back and show you the Cricut machine cutting it, and then we'll go from there. Okay, this is what the design looks like in Cricut Design Space. So now I'll get it all set up to cut. Okay, so the vinyl is on the mat. The mat is loaded into the machine, and now we're ready to cut. Obviously the color of the vinyl doesn't matter in this case because it's a stencil and it will just be thrown away after I use it. This is permanent vinyl, and I used permanent vinyl to kind of make sure that I got good adhesion all the way around the glass. These are very small, delicate letters, so I'm hoping that we can go with this font. If not, I'll have to come up with another font. This Cricut machine was actually a gift from my sweet sister, and I'm so grateful. It's almost done. And now we'll unload it. Doesn't look bad. So I'll move things around and come back with you, and I'll show you how I will weed it. So let me pull the excess off, and then we'll get started. I have a container of tools here that I use. Some of them are conventional weeding tools. Some of them are some picks and things that I have bought, like at Harbor Freight. Just all kinds of pointy little tools are good. And there's some nice pointy tweezers that are also good to use. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the letters. Normally when you're weeding vinyl, you take out the excess. In other words, you take out the outside. But in this case, I'm going to take out the letters because since this is a stencil, I want the outside. So I'm taking out the letters and I'm putting those aside. I'm going to actually get a little paper towel to put them on so that they don't stick everywhere. If I had another project I could use these on, that would be great because they're perfectly good to use. So this won't take too long, and then I'll come back with you when we're ready to put the stencil on the cup. Okay, I got the stencil applied to the glass. It naturally sticks, but I added masking tape around it so that if I get etching cream a little bit on the edges, it won't mess up the rest of the glass. So I did that, and it was not a good font to use, but I really like it, so we're hoping that it comes out good. So we're going to go ahead and put the etching cream on. This is Armor Etch, which I've used before, but it's probably been, probably 20 years since I've done etched glass. Maybe not that long, but probably very close. So we're going to put it on here by using a pouncing method. And the reason you do that is much like the way that you stencil, because you don't, stencil paint, because you don't want to get it under the stencil. Even though the vinyl is sticky, and you know, I have been real careful about getting the edges down. You don't want to, you know, let the etching cream get under there. So I'm just kind of pouncing very generously on here. The cool thing about this etching cream is once you get done, once the time limit is up, and we're going to leave it on about 15 minutes. Once the time limit is up, you can just scrape it off with a scraper or a little knife and put it back in the container and reuse it. It's not ruined. So that's kind of cool. So I'm making sure that we have plenty on. I'll probably go around twice just to be on the safe side. And I'll show you once I get it done how much I've put. It's really thick, so it's easy to apply. And it's really super easy to apply. Doesn't really have an odor. Probably should have worn gloves, but I just didn't think about it. And I used a cup because my my little sponge is too fat to go down in there. Okay, I think I have plenty on. Let me just make sure a couple places. Certainly better to have too much than not enough, I think. And I think we're good. So, you can see how much I have. Really didn't take a lot. So I'll set the timer for 15 minutes. And we'll be back. And then I'll go rinse it off. I'll go rinse it off with cold water. That's all you do. You don't use soap. And then we'll peel off the tape and the stencil, and we'll hopefully have an etched glass piece. And we'll be back. Okay, so the 15 minutes is up. I washed it. I removed the stencil and the tape, and here it is. It worked. The etching worked perfectly. It's complete. That part's completely done. That's the first real step. So now I'm going to clean it with alcohol, and I'm going to get it ready to apply the Mod Podge to start applying the glitter. So I'll be back when I'm ready to do that. Okay, so now we're ready to apply the Mod Podge in order to put the glitter on. I've drawn a line exactly 2 inches from the top of the wine glass, which is a good spacing for the letters. And I've inserted a wand and a football from my epoxy resin turners so that I'm able to manipulate it and won't get Mod Podge all over my hands. This is also what I'm going to use when I put the epoxy on the turner. So we're ready to go. So this is not regular Mod Podge, this is hard coat Mod Podge. And we're going to have to apply it pretty quickly because it dries quickly, and we need to do it rather smoothly. So we're going to go kind of quickly, a good coat, and I'm going right up to that line. And it won't take long because this is not a very big space, but we do have to get every little spot. So I'm going to put it on pretty quickly and then brush it out pretty smoothly, and then apply the first coat of glitter. I'm going to have 2 coats, and the glitter that I'm using is from LittleLee and Rose, and the name of it is Jack, and it is a beautiful pink, really pretty. Getting the stem It's really you have to be careful to get the underneath because that's a really easy area to miss. And I'm not doing the bottom, of course. It's nice to do 2 coats because that way if you missed an area, you can pick it up on the second coat. Okay, I'm just smoothing it out now. And then we'll be ready to apply the glitter. This is a birthday gift, in case you're wondering, and by the time this video comes out, this person will have already received it, so it won't ruin the surprise. All right, I think that's pretty good. We don't want any big lumps, and I think every area is covered, so let me set it down there and just kind of do this, and I think we're ready to apply the glitter. Okay, I'm going to set this aside, and I'll be able to pour that back in. I'm going to get another piece of parchment paper because I don't want Mod Podge on the piece that I'm using because I want to be able to put the glitter back in the container. Alrighty. Here we go. Well, maybe. Okay. And of course I can be generous because I can just fold that back up and pour back into the cup. Isn't a pretty color. If you're not familiar with the company LittleLee and Rose, all the glitters have boys' names or men's names. It's really cool. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. You can also put glitter in the first coat of epoxy if you want to do that, but I'm just trying to make sure that we have a nice thick coat and doing it with Mod Podge this time. And I think that's a great first coat. Second coat will definitely make it nice and thick. So I'll come back and show you after the second coat when we're getting ready to do the epoxy. Okay, so it's a couple days later. I got distracted with other projects. And I have the second coat of glitter on the cup. And I have taped it off because I'm ready to do the resin. And so I put electrical tape just a tiny bit above the glitter so that the resin will get on the top of the glitter and seal that. So I'm going to go ahead and put the wand and the cup on the turner, which is right below me, and then I'll mix up the resin and get back with you and let you see me putting the resin on. Okay, so I am ready to start putting on the resin, and you can hear some noise outside. I have the doors open for ventilation. I need to also say that this is not meant to be a tutorial at all. I totally do this for fun. I love doing this, but I will put down in the description the names of some of my favorite channels of people that do this professionally, that do a great job of tutorials. So if you're really interested in doing this, check them out. They are awesome. I just do this for fun. I love doing it. So I have the resin mixed, and we're ready to put it on. This really probably won't take very long, but I'm going to turn the turner on and we'll be ready to roll. Terry made all of my turners. I have about 6 turners, I think, and I've named all of them, and this one's name is Tina. All right, so here we go. I think I failed to mention, I said something about putting the tape on, but what I didn't mention is the reason that you, the other reason that you put the tape on is to keep it from flowing. It will travel, the resin will travel, and you definitely don't want it to travel up the cup. So I'm going to apply it with my hand. There's no hurry. Just want to get it up. I'm going to be very careful that I get it in this crack because, as I said, I want to seal it up here at the top. This is a pretty vulnerable area for things to get in here. Of course, you won't be able to put this in the dishwasher or soak it. But still, when you're hand washing it, water can get up there, and we don't want that to happen because then it could get down in there and mold. So I'm just getting a nice smooth coat. It's very likely that I'll have to put 2 coats on here, but that's no big deal. This is an extra fine glitter. This is a polyester glitter, like I said. A chunky glitter you could use probably, but it will take several coats. Be real pretty though. This process to me is super relaxing. There's a helicopter. I don't know if you can hear it. There's a helicopter going around our neighborhood. I don't know if they're looking for Bigfoot or what, but we're ready. We're ready. We have the deuce and a half. We're ready to roll if necessary. I have on the glove on this hand, of course, because this is toxic. You definitely don't want to get it on your skin. It is, you can clean up with acetone, which I have right here. But I'm just really getting a nice smooth coat on, making sure every single part of it is covered. And what I will do is I'll keep it on the turner for about 45 minutes, and then I will remove the tape. If you leave the tape on until it's done, until the epoxy is dry, it is murder to get off, and it makes the edge really not pretty. It makes it kind of choppy, or ragged, I should say. It's a better term. So I'm making sure I get the base nice and the edges of the base without getting it on the bottom. You can clean it up a little bit with a razor blade, and I'll do that if I need to, but I'm trying to do a nice job without having too much cleanup. Looks like I mixed just a really good amount of epoxy for this round. I'll probably let it go. About 3 or 4 hours, and that should be good for the first coat. Then I'll check and see if I need a second coat. If I do, I'll put it on at that time. It needs to cure at least 24 hours before you use it. And of course, no part of a person's mouth is going to touch this. There's no epoxy at the top. So, all right, I'll come back to you if we need a second coat and show you that. And here we go.
Well, this video certainly represented more fun than the last one. It was Grandparents' Day at Chloe's school, and we had a lot of fun going there. And I pulled out my favorite children's book. Anytime that I'm asked to read, that's what you're going to hear. A one-track mind that way, and they all had heard it for the first time, so they enjoyed it. But we had a lot of fun there.
That was fun.
And then we were reminded that we're in Florida, and it rains in Florida.
Chloe and Connor are on the same soccer team this year. Next year they'll be on different teams, but they're on the same team, and the littles play part of the time, and then the bigs play, so that's why you saw them switching out like that. But that was fun, but you could see the rain didn't deter them at all.
And if it doesn't deter them,
it doesn't deter us.
It doesn't deter us, so you just laugh and joke and keep on going, because it was a lot of fun anyway.
I hope you enjoyed watching me do the epoxy on the wine glasses. That's a really fun craft for me to do. So I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said in there, it's not meant to be a tutorial. So it's just, I just wanted to kind of show you the process, because it's just a fun thing to do.
It's in the gist of what this whole channel is about, because it's what we do and what we enjoy, and so you're beginning to see some of the variety. So next, I think, is going to be...
Next, you'll get to see a little bit of our family, a little bit more, a tiny bit more of our family, and just a couple of the other fun things that we did.
That's right. So until then, peace.